Hey FlossTube, it's me Hannah the Okie Stitcher here with another FlossTube update. Today is Saturday, the 21st of December 2024, and I am filming in the kitchen because at the moment there is nowhere else to film, and I really wanted to hop on and say hi to everyone and show you what I've been stitching so I can rotate my whips. Alright, so we bought a house at our new base. We are in the middle of making renovations and just basic upkeep of the house, making it wheelchair accessible, all that fun stuff. And yeah, it's going pretty good. I even have like a little stitchy corner that I'm slowly making mine. I am pretty excited. Once I get it looking pretty good, I'm gonna show you guys. Okay. All that said, if you can't guess, hotel days are at a close for now. I know. Since June, I've been living in a hotel, and I was so sick of it. I am so glad that I got a house. Well, the last several months, I broke out my printed cross stitch piece because every day the lighting in these hotel rooms were different. You know, some days it was good and I could stitch on a counted cross stitch, and then others it was really terrible and I had to rely on my printed, which is totally fine because I am enjoying the printed. It is gonna look like this. This is a kit. It is no longer available. It's obviously a Little Mermaid. You guys have seen it before because I started it a long time ago. This, I don't really want to call it fabric. It's more like a canvas. It's like real stiff. And I believe it is 11 count. I am doing 3 strands over 1 box, so 3 over 1. I am just doing all the kit material, and I don't really remember where I was before. I have before and after pictures on Instagram, but I worked down here on the little boat, mainly the 310 around it, and then I finished all in here on all the way across, and then I was working down this way, so all this is filled in as well. And this kind of gives you an idea of how much is done. So if I had to guesstimate, I would say 30-ish% done, so that's pretty good. But I like to keep this for times that, you know, just like the hotel, where I want to stitch but the lighting's not good, or yeah, something along those lines. Okay, so there is that. And then, so I brought out the Christmas stitch up on the housetop by Stitching with the Housewives, and this is the one that has the chickens instead of the reindeer. And I am doing this 1 over 1 strand of floss over 1 box on, I believe it's 28 count black even weave. This needle minder was a gift from my youngest daughter, and this is the called for classic color works. So what I did was I finished filling in the white up here, and I finished the outline of the roof, and all of this with the window and the green is new. So this red was from last year, and I'm gonna rip that out and redo it because I do not like that. The biggest hindrance to this is the lighting. I don't have a like a lamp or anything, and I've tried the white towel underneath, and that doesn't really help with this tiny of a count. And it's so frustrating because Like when I'm looking at it, I can see the count, but then when I go to stitch it, that's when I don't know, it's just really frustrating. But I bought a light, like a tracing light box at Five Below yesterday for $5, and so I am gonna try that. I would like to invest in a really nice stitching lamp at some point, but they are pricey, so that's gonna be a bigger purchase later on, like maybe a birthday gift or something. But maybe this light box will get me through for at least a while. So we'll see. I'll let you know next time how that goes. Then I was doing this one. This is Professor McGonagall. This pattern is from Lunar Fox Stitches over on Instagram. I am doing 2 strands over 1, so 2 over 1. Called for DMC except for the stars and the background. The background was like a blue color, 2 different blue colors, and they were striped. And then I forget what the stars were. I think they were white, but I switched it out with what I'm hoping is a Gryffindor red and Gryffindor gold. I started this piece back in October as part of the, I forget the name of the hashtag, but it was ran by Yarn Ghouls, which they're knitters. They knitted Little Witches, but I chose to start this pattern. And then I obviously didn't get it done in October, so then the magical baking show came out that's, you know, all Harry Potter themed on HBO, and I stitch it now when I'm watching that show, which we've only watched the first episode so far, so still got a little bit to do. And there is that. And this is, I think, 18 count white Ada. Then we had a Girl Scout lock-in a couple of weeks ago, and it was really cool. We actually met the new troop and everything, and it's a teen only troop, so I think it's gonna be a really good fit. Anyway, so I brought out my Girl Scout stitch that I've been working on, and I forgot to bring it out. So I do have a picture of it over on Instagram. I didn't work a whole lot on it. I just did 1 row. My thought process is if I can at least get 1 row done per overnight event, then I'll be happy, because the girls only have, you know, a few more years, you know, 6-7 years, and so I want to make sure that I get it done. Anyway, it is really confetti heavy, and so I think what I'm gonna do, because I noticed at this time I had trouble figuring out which floss was what. Like, it kind of got jumbled, the ones that were already like on the piece. And so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby, and I'm gonna get just like a plain piece of white felt, and I'm gonna try my best to color or like draw the emblems, and I'm gonna preload needles for every single color, and then that way it'll be easier and I can just like jump in and out. So you can go see that over on Instagram, or wait until the next overnight Girl Scout thing, whatever you want to do. Okay, and then the only other thing that I've worked on is the 3rd stocking for my family. This is, did I? No. Oh, it was the floss. I was like, what was that fell? Okay, so, let's see. So this is on 14 count black Ada that I got from Cecilia Samplers. This pattern is from, I'm drawing a blank on the shop name, but it's an Etsy pattern. It is horror themed, obviously. which is really fitting. This needle minder I just got off of Etsy as well. It is supernatural themed, which is my favorite show. So yeah. And I am doing this in the called for floss, 2 strands over 1, so 2 over 1. And then after this is done, which I plan on stitching this until it's done, and then I will start on mine, and hopefully the goal is that all 4 will be completely done by next year, because my daughters are already stitched. They're waiting to be finalized, but I want to get all of them stitched, and then I want to sit down and actually put them all together at once so they're all somewhat uniform. So that is that. That is all my stitching. I know it's quick, but as you can imagine, being in between, not really in between, that's not the right word anymore, but in the middle of like unpacking and the renovations and everything, these videos are still gonna be pretty quick. One nice thing about these renovations is that I have been listening to a lot of audiobooks, and I have been working my way through Stephen King's works, and I have been enjoying them. So I started at the beginning and working my way through, and right now I am waiting for The Running Man to come in, and okay, so like The Dead Zone, Road Work, and well, I didn't really like The Long Walk, but The Dead Zone and Road Work were really interesting, very thought-provoking. And one thing that I like about Stephen King is that, you know, he wrote in the 70s when the Vietnam War was happening. There was a lot of political things going on, and some of that, like, it's not extremely political or extremely, you know, about the war, but it does mention certain things, and it's really thought-provoking, not only in the work itself, but also of like what was really happening at that time. So that has sparked my interest, and now I think I'd like to learn a little bit more about what was happening in the 70s. Okay, so and then when I was unpacking, I realized how many like physical books that I have, and so since my youngest daughter still has that little free library at the town park, I am gonna make like a huge thing in 2025 to read through those books and get rid of as many as I can. Like the ones that I know for a fact I'm never gonna reread again, I am gonna get rid of them, which is the majority of the books, I feel like. Alright, well, you are not here to listen to me talk about books. So I am gonna let you go. Have a good holidays. Have a good holidays. I don't know why I do this. I say random things. Okay, anyway, before I tune myself into an even weirder hole, I'm gonna let you go. TTFN, ta-ta for now.